I think there's some big ones that he has this week. My mom in hour 2. Hour 3 will serve as the pregame show for Tommy and I. And so it is that we get the glorious weather. Will we get a result that is satisfactory in the way that this weather is? I don't know. I can't tell. It is an ACC game, and so the snarky me says there's no chance in hell we win. On the other hand, favored by damn near 10 points, I think, in most places, 9.5, 10.
But is it the snarky you? Or is it somebody who's
the reality,
looking
yeah.
at a giant set of data points and says, well, if past failures are going to predict the current situation and future games, well, home, away, it doesn't matter. Rain or shine, it doesn't matter.
It's an ACC game.
It would be nice if this was our Cal. Is this our Cal? That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow.
Man, I was talking to a buddy of mine moments ago before the show, and he was relaying to me that his friend in New Jersey is huge Nole, all things Noles, invested, Florida State grad, cares deeply, and passed along a compliment that he's listening to us every day and said, thanks for helping me get through the week. I know it can't be easy right now because I know how you guys feel. It's pretty obvious you're frustrated. It's pretty obvious that you guys have voiced your opinion about change. But, you know, you've come in and done a good job. It was just nice of him saying that because I don't know if that's true. I mean, that's true what he's saying, at least in his mind. But I don't know that I've done a good job this week because I have had a hard time with it this week. I have not enjoyed doing the show this week. And I don't know that I've ever said that before. And what I mean by that is I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I have a job in which I'm paid to speak about and cover sports and give opinions about that along with anything else I feel like talking about. And I get to do it with one of my best friends in all the world. And prior to you being there, I did it with another one of my best friends in all the world. And that is, I mean, to me, that never gets lost on me. I am always grateful. And I get to cover my school and I get to cover the sport I love. And I get all the things, right, that make this job unreal. And I've spent my working life doing this. It's been fantastic, been a lot of fun. So because of that, my worst days are way better than most people's, best days when it comes to their job. And there's some jobs out there that I will concede might be as good or better than mine. Certainly there are those that pay more than mine, but that's not what I'm basing it on. I'm basing it on happiness within your field of work. You know, when you get up and you have purpose and you feel good about it and you walk out the door, most people, job's just a job, man. Job's paying the bills. What they enjoy is being able to pay those bills so that they can spend time with their family and their loved ones and do some of the things that they want together. But the job's just a job. I've always felt like this job is incredible because I get to do those things and I love what I do. And I can't wait to come in here and do it. And every time I doubt that or wonder about that, I go on a vacation, and 2 days into the vacation, I'm ready to be back on the air. I'm like, well, yeah, that was cool. I like those couple days off. That was fun. It'll be good to get back in there on Monday. Can't wait to talk about this, and this. And that's the part. Can't wait to talk about. That hasn't been the case here right now. I can wait to talk about this. I can wait to talk about this dumpster fire of a football program right now. It's not something that I'm enjoying doing because it's just documenting repeatedly this nightmare of a scenario that Florida State finds themselves in. And there's no way to sugarcoat that if you feel that way. And I do. There's no way to, I think massage the conversation that makes us feel better about the stark set of circumstances surrounding this game Saturday. And again, it's all relative. This isn't like huge real life weighty stuff. I'm not talking about, being evicted or losing a loved one or, being impoverished and out on the street. I get that. It is just what it is. But it is our livelihood. It is what we do. It is the subject matter that serves as the central theme for this show day in and day out. I can talk about the NFL. I can talk about Major League Baseball and the World Series, which has been awesome. I can talk about non-sports subjects, which we frequently do. I can get into any number of things. I can read questions that we get. I can look at my inbox, look at Twitter, any number of things. And, we can put together these things. But ultimately, the show's central themed is Florida State related, particularly Florida State football, if we're being honest, if we looked at the pie chart. And when you are stuck, in a moment, if you will, where it is Groundhog Day. And that is really difficult. It's every day. And because there's nothing new right now happening that is going to lead you down another path. There's nothing that has tentacles to it right now. Yeah, you can look around the landscape and say, well, that guy got fired. That guy quit. That guy's represented by this agent. This is a job that he would curry favor for. How does that affect our search and all those things? But really kind of can't do that right now because the head coach he's not fired. And they are going to play this game, and they have lost 9 straight ACC games. They've lost 15 of their last 20 games they've played. 15 of their last 20 games they've lost. So we're not relevant in the sense that our play makes us relevant. We're relevant because we are FSU. We're relevant because we matter big time when it comes to the overall sport, our place in it historically, what we've accomplished, television ratings, brand recognition, those things. That's why it's relevant. But the actual play on the field, we're irrelevant. We're a last place ACC team over the span now of a year and a half. We're 5-15. We've lost 9 straight ACC games. We're not. We don't matter.
In the last 17 games that Florida State has a level of competition that's anywhere close to what they're putting on the field, you've won 2. You're 2-15. In your last 17 games that have anything that is close to in the same classification, in the same solar system of talent. 2 wins in 17 tries.
Right.
And that's why it's overwhelming. And what we've been dealing with here the last few years is just a total case of extremes. A total case of extremes. Hardly anything in the middle, hardly anything predictable. 2022 was the most in-the-middle season that we've had in the last 4. And even that had a 3-game losing streak in the middle of it. But you saw incremental improvement. It was kind of predictable improvement.
Yeah.
It was a stable thing that you're working with. 23 is an extreme in the good way during the regular season because you win all of your games. But it is an extreme, and we'll take that one. That's a good one. And then the morning after, the afternoon after you win the ACC championship, you have an extreme to the negative, and it's been basically 90% extreme, 95% extreme to the negative ever since. You did have a blip of the great peak, the extreme to the positive, beating Alabama and having a month, as I called it, of peacetime. Everybody put down the pitchforks for a month because you beat Alabama. You get a bye week. You beat 2 patsies. Nice. That was a good month. So out of the last 23 months, 22 or 23 months, you've had one extremely nice situation as a Florida State fan. The others have been all crazily low. 50 years, 60-year event kind of low.
Lest anybody think that it's a case of unreasonable expectations, it's the reason I bring up the 5-15 is that's not an unreasonable expectation that you do better than that. This isn't a program. Look at the money that they've invested in this program over the years. Incrementally, you can look at it. You can go back. I go back all the way to, obviously, the stadium looking very differently. The capacity at that stadium being very, very different when I was really young. Lot of open air in that stadium to look around at. Obviously, that began to change, and I was here for the subsequent add-ons and the beautification of that stadium, the facade, everything, which was a telling indicator that they planned on being in it for the long run, that they had developed a taste for what it takes and what it is to be a big-time football program and playing amongst the big boys. And it's only fitting that they did because of where they're located, the success they were having under Bobby Bowden and what he was able to build here. But you're in a recruiting-rich region of the country, and you have an appetite from your fan base, alumni, your boosters, and the community for big-time college football. So it made sense that you anteed up, ponied up, and decided to go all in. When you do that, by definition, there's nothing to do with being spoiled. Once you do that, we're not the only program who's done that, obviously. Then you have high expectations, high standards, because the resources are there, and you've invested those resources. So now that should be commensurate to the level of success that you have. And that's when we talk about standard, what we're talking about. Like, okay, you don't have to go undefeated every year It's really cool if you do, but we know that that's not reasonable. What's reasonable to expect is that you're highly competitive in the Atlantic Coast Conference. You're highly competitive in the sense that you're in a position to win it most years or have a shot at it. You're in contention late in the year to be vying for the ACC championship, which these days, if you do, you got a chance to make the college football playoff. And to not be not only not in contention, but to be last in a conference that features Boston College and features Syracuse and features, Virginia and features Wake Forest, your opponent tomorrow, and features any number of schools who just simply do not have and have not invested in the same way that you have. They don't have the resources nor the investment or the appetite to do what Florida State wants to do. And that's when you get angry. It's when you get frustrated. It's when you understand that clearly there have been some things that have been mismanaged. And, when you're in the midst of it, you want to be level-headed. You want to be reasonable. You want to say, all right, this too shall pass. Every big-time program that has the same appetite that we do for success has had their lulls, has had their runs of unfathomable poor play. And we've watched everybody from Alabama to Notre Dame to Southern Cal to Nebraska to Oklahoma to name your program. Miami, now us, and Florida, keep going. A lot of people that have the same sort of investment have gone through really trying times. This is starting to border on absurdity when you consider the last 10 years of those peaks and valleys, with the valleys being the slums. I mean, when you go south at Florida State, my goodness gracious, these days, you are in deep trouble.
Absurdity would be kind in this moment, I think. It's 17 games, and you won 2 of them that are not directional games.
That aren't East Texas A&M and
2
Kent State,
and 15 in that stretch. 2 and 15.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's a case of, like, this is just an objective conversation. You're not having to passionately argue one way or the other. It's,
and I feel
self-evident.
It's bubbling up to the surface, that passion and that pissed offness. But 2 out of 17 games. At what point in any program at Florida State is that acceptable, let alone football?
Yeah, you'd be really mad even if this were, say, basketball.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't checked tennis lately. I know they're very good most years.
Yeah. Steadily improving, actually, last 5 or so.
Absolutely. I guess my reason for saying any of this is just that if the passion hasn't been there, if the zeal hasn't been there, I'm apologizing to you guys, because it's just, I feel beaten down a little bit this week. I'll gather, but and I don't want anybody to be like, oh, poor. No, listen, no. I'm just empathizing with my people. Man, this is tough.
It's funny. I feel the opposite. I feel as though I've beaten everybody over the head with too much anger, but it's just honestly how I feel. Just because another day comes and goes,
it's not going away,
doesn't mean that it's gone away. That the problem has been addressed. The problem has not been addressed. The addressing of the problem was, we'll address the problem later.
It is being addressed behind.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, he wants to work in the dark.
Sure, absolutely, wonderful.
Knock at your door tonight, says Noel Kev. It's Mike Norvell. I won't be there. In his best FSU polo and dress pants, trick or treat bag in hand. What candy are you giving him? Remember, he's giving you 13-1 and 19 straight, but he's also giving you 2-10 and the Stanford loss. Also 15 out of 20 games played that you've lost. So I would add to the litany of disappointments.
What's his costume? Young Bobby Bowden?
He's just dressed in his best polo and dress pants. He's Coach Mike Norvell. What am I giving him? Thanks, Noel Kev. Well, I'm giving him the worst candy I got. I'm giving him the candy corn, because candy corn sucks. Here, you get a giant bag of candy corn.
I think I give him 4 pieces of candy corn, his choice of one candy that he loves, and then a pretty good candy like Nestle Crunch or a Crackle Bar, which actually I like the Crackle Bar. I know it's the knockoff Nestle Crunch.
I like the Crackle Bar just fine.
Because that's what he's given to us is 4 pieces of candy corn, our favorite candy in the world, and then something that's pretty good. So I think he reaps what he sows.
I'm giving him peeps. Eat some of these suck-ass peeps. That's what you get.
Peeps? That's a nickname.
You get the peeps. Like the peeps is over here, and then all the kids are getting the real good candy over here, like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And then Mike's there, and I go, oh, hold on a second, Mike. Here's some peeps. That's what you get, the peeps. So we split last night. I had Coastal Carolina. They came through for me. Tulane throwing up all over themselves. Good on you, UTSA. So 1-1 there. But that's not the heartbreak. The heartbreak is we were 2 yards away, kids. And I warn you that when we do these 3, 4, 5, 6-legged things, that it's not going to hit in all likelihood. You only need to hit one to make up for your losses if you're just doing pizza money. But really? Justice Hill? 2 yards? I'm proud of that one, man. I was on the right side. It was a logical, sound, very good bet. It's okay. 2 effing yards. Well, it's just like the screen pass on the one before. I'm right. I've got these lined up correctly. These are the correct wagers based on the game story that I'm telling.
You're happy with the process. Absolutely.
Oh, the process is 100% spot on. There's nobody that can argue that right now. It's just a toughie, man. It's just a toughie. I was like 2 yards. Really? Really? By the way, Miami, you want to talk about situational. I mean, they're a silly team. They're a silly team. They're right there in that game with Baltimore for the entire first half. First of all, I'm tired of people eschewing field goals. Stop doing that.
Whoa, wait a minute.
They're points. Listen, I get the math.
You have traditional values.
No. I'm for the metrics. I'm for analytics. I'm for using them to your advantage. Yes, believe in math. That's fine. But you have to know your team. You have to know your quarterback especially. And their quarterback's a bum. So you know you got a bum of a quarterback, and you're a shaky team. But you're a shaky team that's played at that time very good defense bordering on 6 quarters. So what you're telling me then at that point is there's some evidence that defense is turning the corner. So I'm going to take that into account in a way that the analytics wouldn't in that moment. And I'm going to say, the analytics say we won't get back down here because our offense is awful. And, the analytics says that we're probably going to give up a lot more points tonight, so we probably can't settle for field goals. But then I'm going to say to the analytics, have you seen my quarterback? And, oh, by the way, the defense isn't what the numbers tell you because they shut down Atlanta for 4 quarters and they've shut down Baltimore for a quarter and a half. We're at 5.5 quarters of suck it from this defense. So I'm going to make this 14-9. We're going to be in this game in the second half. I'm going to give myself a fighting chance. But people don't do that. You're seeing it all the time. And I'm like, hey, man.
Fade to Achane.
A fade to your running back who's not tall.
You can't even watch a Thursday night game without having flashbacks to this tenure here. I see Micah Pittman and fade balls. And I'm why? I'm rocking back and forth.
But but by the way, then it does what it does because once you screw that up, and they did, what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. The next score is going to be the one that makes it 21-6, and we're done playing here. This game's now over. You've made sure of it. Get out of here with that. But anyhow, Dolphin fans got their wish, right? It looks like they're going to move on finally after 25 years with Greer.
Yes, he's done.
He's gone.
They mutually parted ways. McDaniel is going to be the head coach through the end of the season at least, I believe was the wording that Adam Schefter used.
Well, yes. So this is kind of funny, but the interim GM is Champ Kelly. That sounds like a failure waiting to happen. I don't know anything about Champ Kelly. But the Dolphins announced his name's Champ Kelly. It can't be good. The Dolphins announced that. That's step one. You got to make sweeping changes in Miami. Just get all the guys out of there.
Yeah, you could send a pass rusher to Tampa. That'd be great.
Get everybody out of there, man.
Just not the other guy, not Chubb. I don't need the logo spitter. Give me the other guy. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. Bradley Chubb, you don't want?
No, he spit on our logo. That's personal.
No Bradley Chubb, but you do want the linebacker Jalen Phillips.
Yep. There we go. Perfect.
If you'd like to add one more and have the world's greatest wide receiving core ever put together, you could grab Jalen Waddle, who's also up for sale.
You'd have the greatest, in theory, wide receiver room.
If any of them can play.
Yeah, they won't.
They all need to be able to play. We should have gone out and got Fitzpatrick a long time ago. Could we do that?
Winfield's playing good now, though.
No, he is.
And I like Tyke Smith.
Love Tyke Smith. All right, we're going to be fine.
Every week you look at Tyke Smith, like, that's a play.
Fool around and let us get healthy. And then this gets really, really interesting.
With, as Collinsworth would say, a pass rusher.
Yes, he would. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us next. We'll get his picks, including the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Does Florida have a shot? Let's find out what Lee has to say. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
God gave us two ends, one to think with and one to sit on. Success in life depends on which one you use. Heads, you win. Tails, you lose. Hi, I'm Rick Hughes, host of The Flatline. Heard every Sunday morning here at 7:30 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3 Tallahassee Real Talk Station. Come join me 30 minutes of motivation, inspiration, and some education as I seek to reveal God's plan by teaching 10 unique problem-solving devices. Every Friday, 30 a.m., 93.3 Real Talk Tallahassee.
Can we talk about the most important things in your life? Your family, your friends, your home, and enjoying the time you spend together. You sure don't want to have to think about whether everybody's going to be comfortable. You want Tony Kelly to make sure everybody's comfortable. That's what Tony Kelly does, and that's what's most important for the entire Tony Kelly team. Their prompt, professional service and attention to detail, they're famous for it. Focus on what's most important to you and let Tony Kelly Heating and Air keep everybody comfortable.
Stay comfortable and stay focused on the most important things with Tony Kelly Heating and Air, committed to serving you and your family with exceptional service, skilled technicians, and reliable high-quality work. Go to TonyKellyInc.com to find their full range of HVAC services, including repairs, installations, inspections, and maintenance. TonyKellyInc.com or call 850-385-3774.
When you need the plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to wait?
Hey guys, we really need you over here. My toddler just flushed a whole bunch of toys down the toilet and everything, and I mean everything, is backing up.
2 hours?
Hey guys, just checking in. The water has reached the hallway now and it's getting pretty deep. Can you get here anytime soon?
4 hours?
Hey guys, can you please hurry? Now my wiener dog is doing the backstroke over here and they're not known to be strong swimmers. Hey honey, grab his life jacket.
8 hours?
Oh, so now you're here.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. Our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. And now M&L Plumbing can also be your go-to for all septic tank pump-out services. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing. Your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachia Parkway. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF Your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
And it rolls on, and that means our man Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, set to join us. I'm excited. First of all, we're on the cusp of November, which I know, Lee, you were going to say here in a moment, which I love. This is the last of Locktober. And it's Halloween. It's all those things. But also, right before you came on, a little birdie told me we've got 3 40 to 50 unit plays out here today. Woo-hoo-hoo. Have you ever, you and I have been doing this 20 plus years together, buddy. I don't think you've ever had 3, have you?
Never. So
Wow.
we went 17 years ago to the 10 to 50 unit rating system. I've had twice where we've had 240 to 50 units in one weekend. You're right. Not 1, not 2, 340 to 50 unit plays. And I think I got the right side big time in all 3 of them. So you got it. You got to fire.
Buddy, I'm so pumped. So we'll tweet those out before the games start. Like, you can't tell everybody those right now, but you have sent them to me. So I have them. I'll let my audience know. We'll throw it out there. At least feeling it this week, guys. This is amazing. And you've had a great month of October, so let's keep it rolling. Let's keep this train rolling. Hey, I love this game, and I've wrestled with it. Texas Vanderbilt. Texas 2.5. To me, these two, I feel like the under is at play here as well. But anyhow, talk to me about the game.
I agree. And the line's up to 3.5 some places. So here's the situation of this game. Am I right? You can tell a team by their spread record?
Yeah, you usually, yes, typically. Yes. Usually.
Right. Yeah. It's a good indicator. So since Texas opened last year 4-0 against the spread, they're 6-14 against the spread. So it means they're not playing up to expectations. Let's put it that way. Vanderbilt shows you how well they're coached and how well they're playing maybe over their heads. 15-6 against the spread. Texas has 2 losses already. Probably could have 2 more if they didn't get 2 punt returns for touchdowns. Third quarter and that Oklahoma game that flipped the game. And then last week sent the game into overtime against Mississippi State. Things were so bad in the game against Mississippi State last week. Their offensive line gave up 12 tackles for loss. We're not talking about a great defense they're playing. I mean, anything more than 5 or 6 is a lot in a game here. I think Arch Manning's going to play. That's why the line is ticking up to 3.5 in some places. If he can't go, and they have to bring in Matthew Caldwell, this kid was held in such low regard. He started at Jacksonville State, then moved to Gardner-Webb, then was at Troy last year. In his 5 starts, he has 8 interceptions. Yikes. If you're counting on, I think Vanderbilt came 20.
There's a couple things that amaze me about. Secondly, how does Texas, with those resources and the ability to recruit who they do, have that situation be their quarterback situation? How's that even possible?
Should never happen. But what's interesting is, Texas needed a backup, and the best that they could do was this kid. Ole Miss, at least they found a kid, and turns out he's their starter now. So give them credit. When you have someone that's that established, and you know that unless they are horrendous, they're like 2 for 12, 2 for 15 in a game. They're not pulling out. It's tough to get a quality kid to come there. So just my take on it. So they got some problems. They got a lot of money, but doesn't always, in the case of the Dodgers, get you to the World Series almost every year. The Yankees, mismanagement there doesn't buy you love.
Miami, I think, and I'm interested to hear your take on this.
Yeah.
I think Miami's going to destroy SMU. I'll say this right now. Look, seriously,
Yeah.
I'll say this now. I think SMU low-key kind of sucks.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Seriously.
I was going to say something similar to the way you said it. Okay. So Rhett Lashley, the reason this line, and it's down to like 9.5. You like Miami, bet it now. Rhett Lashley, okay, there is no bad blood between him and Miami. He just took the job. He was happy at Miami as the offensive coordinator, took a job. He doesn't know anything about the defensive coordinator. He has no edge there. He'll probably really prepare and do everything he can. He might throw a trick play or two there, but their defense sucks. They're garbage. I mean, they played two decent offenses, Baylor and TCU, and gave up 48 and 35 points. The only decent win name-wise is against Clemson, and they won 35-24. Cade Klubnik didn't even play in the game. SMU's best weapon, Hello Brinson. He was buried. He was like third and fourth team at Miami. Didn't even play last year for SMU. SMU's defensive line was pretty good last year. Give them credit. It was all Miami guys that were backups, and they're all gone. 7 of the top 8 defensive linemen are gone. Their secondary is disgraceful. They can't cover anyone. Tony, he might catch 250 yards and passes, and now all of a sudden he's become an absolute weapon returning punts. I like Miami. 42-21, they double up SMU.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Good. I'm glad we're seeing it the same way, buddy. I watched this SMU team. I'm like, I don't like anything about them, really. I don't even love their offense anymore. And, I like Rhett Lashley overall. He can produce offense. Let's put it that way. But I'm not a huge fan of this team. All right, Georgia, Florida, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. This is a weird game because I think you can make an argument for Florida, but then again, trying to gauge, and I'm interested in how you do this. How do you gauge the firing of a coach and a bye and the whole to-do? Because this is, however you feel about that is how you feel about this game and whether or not you want to lay the 7 with Georgia. So what say you?
So I looked it up. Generally, when you get a coach that players hate, like Brian Kelly, who's a complete asshole.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Him, Lou Holtz. Who would you say are the top 4 or 5 biggest asshole coaches?
You just named 2. Very tough. I mean,
there's a story out there that Lou Holtz one time, there was a recruit they had, big time recruit, like linebacker or something, or tight end. He jumped into a swimming pool a couple months before he was supposed to enroll on campus. He'd signed with him and was paralyzed. Never called the kid, never called the family.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of stories like Brian Kelly's situation. I mean, good Lord, we all know what happened at Notre Dame with the kid and the scaffolding, the whole thing. And then you had this other situation here at LSU where the kid got hurt and ended up, we all saw how that played out, where they never went to visit.
Who else? Give me.
I mean, look, there are guys that used to grate, Steve Spurrier, who we grew to love because he ended up being funny, and now Lane Kiffin is the Steve Spurrier of the modern era, right? Yeah. I mean, but that's a shtick almost, and it's funny. There's a difference between that and being a genuine bad guy. Yeah. And so I'm always hesitant to say, I mean, look, it certainly stands to reason that maybe Earl Bruce wasn't the most nice, wonderful guy in the world, from what you can tell from afar, guys like that, some of the old school guys. But I think you named Brian Kelly's got to be number 1 on the list.
Right.
Number 1.
But Lou Holtz isn't far behind.
No, not far. And no love lost for Lou Holtz. I've had a conversation one time with Jimbo Fisher, and he said something funny about this. But so, okay, you're going to tell me then that Florida, those players liked Napier. So this won't hold true then. Yeah, they don't get a sense of relief.
Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be a bump. More times there's a bump. We might look at LSU. When the line comes out next week against Alabama, that might be a good situational play for LSU on the bounce back. Not saying they're going to win, but the line's going to be pretty high. They might cover. So I just think that those coaches are looking for jobs. 2 weeks. That's their main emphasis. Georgia's offense, I look at the individual parts and I'm not impressed. But sometimes the unit as a whole is better than individual parts. And that's the situation, in my opinion, for Georgia. And they get better in the second half. They've been favored by at least 14 points in each of the last 4 games playing Florida. They won by 14, 23, 22, and 27 points. Kirby Smart, this is a big game for him. He loves to put the hammer down here, and he usually covers. I think they win and cover 31-20.
Well, I think if you're a Georgia fan or you're Kirby Smart, former Georgia player, if you can put the hammer down on Florida, you got to do it for the next 20 years because they owned your ass forever.
Right.
I mean, they owned their ass forever.
What is the series? Is Florida ahead in the series?
I think Florida's still ahead in the series, because of what ended up happening. Yeah. Florida State, Wake Forest, Lee. The way I talk to my audience about it, and this is very cynical and jaded, I say it's an ACC game, so therefore it's a scheduled loss for Florida State. They lose every single ACC game they play. So if it's an ACC game, just flock to the other side. I understand on paper Florida State should win this game. I understand that talent for talent, Florida State has more talent. I understand Florida State's at home. I know why it's a nearly 10-point spread. I'm just always going to take the other team. I don't care if it's Stanford. I don't care if it's SMU. I don't care if it's Wake. I don't care if it's Duke. Whoever the other ACC team is, until they fire Mike Norvell, they're going to have to just go ahead and accept their losses.
What's the chance he gets fired?
I hope it's happening as we speak. I think it's very high.
90%?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What are we doing here? I'll tell you what. It should have been automatic right after the Stanford game, but because it wasn't, I got to believe you lose at homecoming with Wake Forest in town on your home field. Man, what are we doing?
I keep I'm a Dolphins fan. I keep refreshing my phone expecting that Stephen Ross has fired McDaniel and the GM Greer. I mean, that's to me is with Chris Greer has been an absolute joke. I mean, he obviously holds the goods and probably said that I'm not going to testify if something ever comes up against you. I mean, what owner? People will say, oh, I hate our owner. I'm like, has your owner ever cost you a first and a third round pick for tampering? Like, no. Oh, that's Stephen Ross.
Yeah.
Starts at the top. Am I right, Jeff? When you see a good owner, usually see a good GM and a good head coach. Same thing with college. See a good president, see a good AD, see a good head coach. So I believe it or not, I'm going to pick Florida State. I'm going to shock everyone here. So I think there's a hangover for Wake Forest here after upsetting SMU. It wasn't that much of an upset to me. I just think they're going to hit on a couple big plays here, and maybe Wake Forest is sleepwalking. Everyone's patting them on the back, telling them how good they are. I think they reached their ceiling for one day, for 1 3-hour period, and maybe it's just to torment you, Jeff. Florida State's going to win and cover 34-21.
I'll take it. I don't know if people would know what to do. They haven't seen an ACC win since the dramatic win over Cal last year. Good God, man.
Have you ever rooted against Florida State in a game?
So Tom and I were having this discussion yesterday. I get where you're going. No, I have not. Okay. I've never rooted against Florida State. However, I have also not been upset about certain results. When I knew something was coming, where I knew that was going to be the impetus for the change that was necessary. Right. But I've never gone in and rooted actively against them. Yeah. If it happens,
that's right.
What are you going to do?
I'll never forget I think it was the game, Randy Shannon's last game. Never forget this. And they were playing South Florida. And I think it was Don Bailey, the color analyst. Mm-hmm. They were talking about Randy Shannon. They were saying, I think there was like 7,000 people still left in the stadium at the end of that game. And he made the comment sometime during the game. He felt that, it was right before the game. Someone was flying a banner, said, fire Randy Shannon. felt that he should give him an extension. And I was driving to the game. I almost crashed when I heard that. And I've never seen a crowd when South Florida scored that touchdown to win that game late.
Cheer
It
out
went
loud.
absolutely nuts. And it did kind of laugh there, and he got fired either that night or the next day. So it's an interesting, conundrum that we're in, as fans, and you want your team to get back on a winning track, and you're not sure what to do in that situation.
Brutal.
So
it's brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
Jags giving 3 to the Raiders. The Jags really need to win this football game late.
Yeah.
I mean, who are we kidding here? If you lose this and go to 500, I think we can probably cross them off the list for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I would also assume they are going to win the game, and I would lay the points.
Yeah, I would too. Geno Smith. Do you think the Raiders feel they made a mistake? How could Tom Brady be in on choosing Geno Smith? So, I mean, there's the good Geno sometimes and the bad Geno. We're seeing a lot of bad Geno.
We're seeing a washed up Geno.
I mean, outside of Crosby, they just don't have players. They can't make plays in space. I like the Jags here, 27-17.
Your game of the week is Ole Miss in South Carolina, minus 12.5 for Ole Miss. How can folks get it? But also, again, let's remind everybody, This is a big weekend. Paramount Sports is going to be doing well this weekend. This is going to be fun. How can folks get this and the big plays?
First 5 callers, call 800-400-9741. Give you Ole Miss in South Carolina. Could South Carolina coach? Could he be headed back to Virginia Tech, Mr. Beamer, to follow his father? Or can they give a nice effort like last week? First 10 callers, 800-400-9741. And you want to hop on, biggest weekend ever. Not 1, not 2, 3 40 to 50 unit max wagers. Never had that before in the 17 years. So we don't call it November. We call it November. 5 weeks of action starting tonight. Use coupon code. I'm doing this for your show only.
Okay.
I saved this. Save 200. Everyone else getting a save 100 coupon. So when I see the price, not $3.97, $2.97 in the coupon box, use that coupon code save 200. I'll know it came from the Jeff Cameron show.
Boom.
Whole month of games through November 30th. $297 with that coupon code save 200. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
Time to pull the trigger, folks, and we'll get credit. Nicely done. Lee, enjoy the weekend, brother. Always appreciate it.
You too, buddy. See you.
Take care.
Be safe.
Yep. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every week. On Fridays, of course, Libations Friday, we go through the games. 800-400-9741. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 68. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies again tonight, lows around 44. Highs level off around 71 tomorrow. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun Sunday with daytime highs approaching 71. 68 Monday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 60 degrees.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Game day in Tallahassee starts with energy, and nothing fuels that spirit like Grassroots Coffee brand new End Zone Blend.
That's right. Every cup of End Zone Blend doesn't just taste incredible. It also supports our Florida State Seminoles football program.
Grassroots Coffee knows it's about commitment and being all in. Every sip of End Zone Blend helps push the program forward, supporting the grind and the climb.
So whether you're at home, have a business, or just getting fired up before kickoff, make End Zone Blend part of your game plan.
Support local and our favorite coffee roaster. Order Grassroots Coffee's End Zone Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. And let's keep driving the Noles to victory.
It's that easy. Drink Grassroots Coffee and help support the Florida State Seminoles. And don't forget, you can get 15% off your first order at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee's brand new End Zone Blend.
Grassroots Coffee.
made for everyone.
Loved everywhere.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Solve for the future with our friends at ISF. We'll do it right now because otherwise I might forget in the second hour when we're making picks against my mother, who I split with last week. But, Tom, let's just solve for the win. This game, tomorrow night, the win. That's it. That's all we're solving for. We're not the big picture stuff. We've certainly gone over enough, even at the start of this show. Let's join forces with our friends at ISF, who do a great job with all the aspects that help businesses become more modern. For example, IT modernization. They do organizational transformation, all the things I tell you about working with state government. You guys, strategy, operations. Let's figure it out, Tom. What do we got to do to win the game Saturday night?
So defensively, you've got to be ready for Chris Barnes, who is small, shifty, really fast, 0 to 60, can make you miss in a phone booth. If I'm Wake Forest, I take a look at some of that Miami stuff and I say, oh, we've got a player like Tony. Let's put him in similar situations. Let's get some quick screens, rub routes, all that kind of stuff near the line of scrimmage, short throws for our quarterbacks who aren't terribly accurate anyway. Wake Forest quarterbacks are well under 60% completion percentage for the year. Even if it is Ashford, he's 58 and change. So I try to get that guy in a situation where it's one-on-one with a corner or a safety. He makes one guy miss, and we got ourselves an explosive play. So really key in on that. And then offensively, I think it's about sticking to the run between the tackles. The more perimeter runs we have, the more trouble we're going to be in.
Well, you and I agree on this wholeheartedly. Then that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm between the tackles. I'm downhill this game. I'm trying to bludgeon Wake Forest. I don't want to get out on the perimeter where Gus too routinely likes to live. I want to run the ball between the tackles in this game, and I think you can. I'm with you on this. I do worry about their defense. Wake Forest's defense, they play hard. They play together. They play with a swarming mentality, which is really what you like to see out of defensive football. It's guys swarming to the football, gang tackling. They seem to love one another. It's very, very impressive the way they play defense. Offensively, this is a Wake Forest team that struggles. As Tom pointed out, they don't have accurate passers at quarterback. They've got a couple of guys that I do like. Damon Claiborne's a running back that I like. We're going to talk about him in the pregame show some too. He's a nice player. He's not, I'm not trying to point to him like he's Trey Benson from last year for Florida State or 2 years ago, but he's a nice player. And he's got some wheels, and he gets a little space. He could be a problem. He's got a lot of carries on the year, and he's averaging just about 6.2 yards per carry. So he's been a good player. I worry about him. It's weird to me. I feel like if Florida State is buttoned up at all in this game and care to be there and play with great effort and focus and desire, they should win the game. But, we're a broken record on that front. We've said it a lot. Running the ball puts a lot less pressure on Tommy. I got to find out if he's healthy early in this game, because if he's not and he's not willing to run, I'm getting somebody in there who is, because that's part of the run game too, the quarterback run. That opens up the passing game where you're talking about trying to hit shots later on when they come out of their shell. I'm with you on that, but you're going to have to run the ball, and you're going to have the quarterback run the ball to help you get to that point where you can take those shots. Let's see if he's healthy early.
Yeah, I hate this matchup for what they do well defensively versus what we do offensively outside of the traditional run. If you could see it as a quarterback, you can hit some serious passes against Wake Forest defensively. I don't trust that Tommy can see it. If you can run as a quarterback, you can gash them offensively because you can get explosive plays, quarterback run game, especially with read option, especially if you're hitting that dive too. But Tommy is going to be gimpy, I'm going to assume. I understand he's listed as probable. Last night's injury report, Tommy Castellanos is now probable. I think that has more to do with the headshot that he took at Stanford than it does with the leg. That doesn't seem to go away. It was a problem at Kent State. He re-aggravated against Pitt. I don't know, man. If you had a mobile quarterback, I'd feel legitimately okay about this game. But I don't think we have a mobile quarterback.
Well, we have him. He's just not being played right now. So those guys exist. Our thanks to ISF always. Public sector managed services, 40-plus years, all across the country. Industries from health to energy, regulatory, to come in to education, family and services, all that good stuff. They do it locally here in Tallahassee as well. We love working with ISF, and they solve for your future. And join us every week to solve for the future. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Mom will join us. It is time to get after some picks. I think we split last week, so the lead is still robust. Beautiful thing. Stay with.
Searching for the best place to host an event for your friends and family? The Go.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Your Sports Flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
NFL football, the Jacksonville Jaguars have placed rookie quarterback and wide receiver Travis Hunter onto the injury report. He was a limited participant in practice yesterday, dealing with a knee injury. He was not on the Wednesday injury report at all. So something happened that got him placed on to it for yesterday's practice. Jaguars getting ready for a game against the Raiders on the road coming up on Sunday. Last night it was a tough one for the Miami Dolphins. They lose to the Baltimore Ravens at 28-6. NHL hockey, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they get an overtime win against Dallas yesterday, 2-1. The Lightning play at Utah on Sunday. NBA basketball yesterday, Magic over the Hornets, 123-107. Heat lose to the Spurs, 107-101.
This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Tempted to decorate for the holidays early? We like your style. Right now at Kohl's, save 20% on decor, hosting essentials, and more. Plus, get $10 off $50 spent. So go ahead, hang up that wreath, swap out those couch pillows for ones with snowflakes. And while others are panic shopping later, you'll already be cozied up feeling pretty great about these early Kohl's deals. Select styles, offers end November 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Florida man, you're all crooked again. What did you do to yourself this time?
Well, we were tailgating before the big game, and I had to defend Hank's honor. Some guy saw him wearing his gold chain and said, "Nice Gator fan." Can you believe that? Hank is a Seminole, thank you very much. But it all went downhill during Flip Cup. Hank was losing bad, and the guy starts heckling. He says, "Figures a Gator fan can't flip." The next thing I know, Hank's all over the table and going for the guy's throat. I tried to break it up. I grabbed a keg to end the chaos, and bam, my back went out like a lawn chair in a hurricane. I didn't even make it to the game.
Let me guess, Hank went without you.
Yep, stormed the field after the win.
At Finn Chiropractic, they'll get to the root of your pain and deliver the solutions. Book your appointment online at finchiro.com, and you'll even get an online discount. Visit finchiro.com today and find your path to a pain-free tomorrow.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway, just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
More loosey-goosey. We have to make it more loosey-goosey. Let's have some fun with it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. Driving about town, listening on 93.3. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for supporting local. Florida State football, the topic most Fridays of a home weekend. A little less so these days, although we do. I have some NFL picks for you coming up with Mama here in about 25 minutes. I should say 2015. That'd be very specific. 20 minutes, 15 seconds. Let's get it. Tom, you were adjusting the mic in your studio as we came on, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought, there's no way Tom's that far gone that he is just blatantly in front of this audience and me breaking out beers. The microphone that you lifted to get to the right spot looked like a bottle of beer out of the corner of my eye. And I said, Libations Friday indeed, Tommy. What is going on over there?
That could solve for a lot of futures right there.
That was hilarious. I thought, what's he doing? Tom's losing it. I thought we had a very cathartic conversation last hour. Tom said, no, it's going to lead to beer.
It's an IBC root beer, Jeff, with Jaeger in it.
Oh, that was good, man. That was good.
That sounds nice right about now, though.
Oh, raising a glass? Not Jaeger.
Well, yes, I think I'm going to be making my way. Well, I know I'm going to be making my way to somebody's high school swan song tonight on the football field. And it's walking distance for me, which I love.
Yeah.
I was thinking about fixing a cocktail to go for the road in a little solo cup and then chucking that bad boy once I get there. But you know what? The idea of a glass bottle of beer sounds perfect.
Well, Tom, you don't have to say it to yours truly. It always sounds good to me.
Well, but I thought I was going to have a little mixity-do. But you know what? There's something about the feeling of the glass right now. I think that's the right feeling. Not because I want to chuck it. Just because.
No. Let's not do that.
We don't litter.
We don't do that. Plus, you're a grown-up. We don't need to be chucking beers anywhere.
It's been decades since any nonsense like that has
correct.
I think actually I did for celebration of the 2006 NL East champion Mets. I chucked it because we won. That might be the last time, 19 years ago.
Probably should be the last time for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. But you know that feeling. Sometimes it is the touch, not of the can of beer, but of the glass bottle of beer that just has a little bit different. It grounds you. It makes you feel more positive about things.
You know what I thought about the other day? Since this is a Libations Friday, I'll further the conversation a little bit for you. I thought about an ice cold in a bottle, of course, Lowenbrau. Yeah, good old Lowenbrau, buddy.
Is that made by Fraunhofer?
I used to love Lowenbrau back in the day. They used to advertise. Lowenbrau used to be a thing, but I love their bottle, their Lowenbrau bottle. It just looks fantastic. And it's funny, when I first had a deal with the fine folks at Anheuser-Busch there, we used to, they used to let me come by and pick up cases of Lowenbrau.
Yeah. I wasn't there for the Lowenbrau era. I got there for the tail end of the Fire Rock era,
which you can't get anymore.
Yeah.
You can get it in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You cannot, I can't even order it.
But you can get Michelob Light.
You can get a Michelob Light depending on where you are. It is hard to find. I would like a full-on Michelob, but good luck with that. But yeah, the Lowenbrau bottle, which had the baby blue, it just with the silver, it was regal. Oh, it was good stuff.
In between then and now in that walk, I will have at least, probably just the one. Pace thyself, Thomas. The Guinness at Corner Pocket in 3 hours' time.
Ice cold Guinness doesn't suck either, so that's not so bad. See, this is what it's done. This is where we're at.
Yeah, but the little cool air, right? Because CP gets the morning sun, not the evening sun, so that deck cools down quicker. It's already cool outside. So taking that Guinness and walking outside on the deck with the cool breeze, that's different. You might be in Ireland for just a moment in your brain with the cool wind and the sip of a Guinness.
Not bad.
We could all use that transportation in our life.
Where we lost in an ACC game.
Had nothing to do with the football.
One of many that we were destined to lose, buddy.
Destined to lose.
Now, we could not have known at the time as we walked out of that glorious stadium that it was going to be a bevy of ACC losses that followed. We just thought, oh, man, what a bummer. What a weird set of circumstances. Golly, had our chances. That's a bad loss, but oh, well.
I don't know. I just think this has been a whole lot of weird circumstances. You could probably fill the Tucker Center with as many weird circumstances as we've had.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Thursdays and Fridays are the days that I'm on a bunch of different shows throughout the state and the region, and every one of them, they don't ask about the games anymore. There's no asking about the games at all. It is always, we welcome in Jeff Cameron. Jeff, how soon till they announce? That's how every one of them starts. And, of course, my retort is usually, you would think, followed by a conversation. And, yeah, that's how it starts each and every time. Gets a little old. You kind of, all right, be cool when we're not doing this anymore.
We had a do not resuscitate order. Come on, guys. Live up to what we signed.
I will say, so this is getting interesting because the rumor gets stronger all the time that Lane may end up just staying at Ole Miss. And if that happens and Florida doesn't hire him and LSU is not able to hire him, and there's a thought that those two are the ones vying for Lane's services, and that Lane is content at Ole Miss, that he has said many times in interviews long before these job openings were available to him that he's happy there, that he's found some peace there. He likes the pace at Ole Miss. He's had enough success. He's starting to turn a corner, too. This is where it gets interesting, where we're trying to judge the future of college football. Here's what I mean. This is not to brag on Lane necessarily, but it's specific to where football may be going. You can win there. If you can win at Indiana, you can win there. You can win at these places now. Everybody's got the same rev share. And then if you have an NIL budget that puts you in the, say, top 20, top 15, you can win there pretty consistently, be a college football playoff contender every year.
Yeah, and it just comes down to evaluation and recruiting.
Right. It comes down to your ability to evaluate and recruit, and you're not beholden to something where you think, I can't win a championship here. Like Brian Kelly left Notre Dame before all these changes happened because he thought, I can't win. I can get us close. I can get us right to the brink. I've gotten us as far as I can get us to go, but we don't have the horses in mass, and we can't win a national championship. And because of that, I'm going to have to leave. And then he did. And obviously he was not a good fit. He didn't seem to like it there, first of all. The people didn't ever really seem to warm up to him. Of course, he made it difficult right out the gates with his fake accent and everything else. But that marriage didn't seem to fit. I don't think, had he known that the landscape was going to change as much as it has, that he would have left. I don't think he would have left Notre Dame in retrospect, okay? I think Ole Miss can see Lane Kiffin can see the writing on the wall where all this is going. Now, unless he just wants another fabulous payday, but he's already very, very wealthy. He's been paid out many, many times before, and they're paying him very well.
They're about to pay him more because of the fear of losing him, yeah.
Perhaps. But let's, on that subject, talk about it for a second, because yesterday I mentioned in passing, and I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I will say this, and I thought it when I read it. If you're Nebraska, why did you cave to Matt Rule? When they called you, first of all, I just want to point this out. From what I can tell, and from the few agent connections that I have, most people don't think, not all, most people don't think he was ever going to get the Penn State job. That Matt Rule was not going to get the Penn State job, okay? So if we start with that, what has he done at Nebraska that would have you clamoring to give him more money?
Cancel the spring game.
I mean, what has he done where you'd say, oh, we can't let him walk? He hasn't done a thing that would make you feel this sense of urgency to keep him around. And I just don't get why when that happens, when that phone call occurs, and maybe this will happen. Maybe this is where it's headed. But when that phone call takes place, Tom, just say, oh, that's unfortunate. We'd love to keep you around. You're under contract for the next 6 years. We're paying you whatever million per, 8, 9, 10 million per. We're not inclined to revisit a contract that doesn't expire for 6 more years and that pays you close to $10 million annually. We're good. Do you intend to break the contract? Is that what you're calling to tell me? Okay, well, then obviously we have stipulations regarding that. There's money that's going to be owed us. Good luck to you. It's not that hard. You can just say that. Here's the thing. You're under a contract for the next 7 years. We're paying you whatever that number might be. Yeah, we're good. We're not going to give you any more money. If you're going to leave, thanks for the notice, and we'll use the money that we're getting back in the buyout to go get our next coach.
There's also a significant chance that after signing this 2-year extension, which guarantees him, I think it's 12 for those 2 years. If it's not, it's just under 12 each of those 2 years. That he could go 1-3 or 0-4 after that signature hit the piece of paper, because they play USC at home this weekend.
Well, that's a game that you got to win if you're Nebraska. If you're starting to turn the corner, you need to win that game. It's a 6.5-point spread.
Right. Well, they're just coming off of a narrow victory over Northwestern and getting smoked by Minnesota 24-6. So let's say that they don't, not a leap of faith here to think that USC wins that game. Are they still invested? Because they got to hit the road and go play UCLA at the Rose Bowl. We already saw one team earlier this year in Penn State go out there and have a problem. Then they have a bye week and they play at Penn State and they play Iowa in their rivalry game. They really could go 1-3 or 0-4 after extending him, and it wouldn't be stunning.
He's a third-year head coach at Nebraska. He hasn't done anything that spectacular as to warrant the raise and extension. It's nothing that you would be clamoring to do as an organization. My point is, more of these guys, more of these athletic directors need to get to a place where they can say, yeah, I don't think you're going to Penn State. Let's just start there, Matt, if we're going to have an honest conversation. I don't think you're going. Your agent wants me to think that, and he's called asking for this, this, and this as if it's a threat. But I don't believe him or you. I don't think you're going there. So we're going to start with that. Secondly, if you are, you are. I'm not giving you any more money, and I'm not extending your contract.
Oh, no. What am I going to do without these 6-win seasons?
Yeah, I mean, just what are we doing? Just say, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But if Lane stays at Ole Miss, back to my point, and isn't out there to be had, signs an extension, I suppose, with Ole Miss, although, again, I don't know that I would do that. They might. He's been successful. We're going to get down to basically a bunch of coaches that doesn't make any fan base feel any kind of way. They're just going to be sort of, well, we'll see. And I think that's this cycle in a nutshell, by the way. Let's say Franklin goes to Virginia Tech. Maybe he does. I don't know. Could end up here. I don't know. But if it's not him or Lane, everybody else that we're talking about that is part of this coaching carousel that every day gets discussed are all guys that you kind of, I like some of the things he's done there. Yeah, seems to be a relatively decent leader of men, doesn't really command anything more than, say, $4, $5, $6 million a year. Let's talk to him, see if he's a fit. Like, that's the descriptor of most of the guys that are out there right now.
You remember about 5-6 years ago as the elite Hall of Fame quarterbacks of the NFL that had lorded over the league for 15 or 20 years were all retiring, and it was one after the next. And there was some worry that there was going to be this black hole of, is there anybody out there who's good? But then Mahomes emerges and Josh Allen emerges and Lamar becomes a better passer than anybody thought possible. And the game's in good hands. Yeah. Suddenly, you have a lot of dudes. Burrow and Stafford has this second bump. And then out west, maybe Herbert's going to be one of the kids who rises up. And you have replacements at the ready. In fact, in a way, it became more interesting. Well, I think with coaches in the post-Saban era, and the post-Urban Meyer era, and Dabo on the downswing, we are in a black hole right now. There isn't, because rank the coaches that you think are guaranteed badasses 1 through 5 right now. I bet you can't get to 5. You might not even be able to get to 3 without a debate about whether that coach is for real or not. It's Kirby, and then I don't know. A lot of dudes who have
Kirby and Dan Lanning are the two that people would look to.
Some dudes with potential. Marcus Freeman, maybe?
I like Marcus Freeman a ton.
Sure. But it's not the same as it was 10, 15 years ago where you've got your pick of 6 or 7 coaches at this upper echelon. You're at a time in the sport where the monies are changing, but then also we're waiting for the next one. Who is going to be that guy? Indiana hopes to God it's Cignetti. I don't know. Who's going to be the next one?
On the surface, it is Cignetti. He's whooping ass every week.
He's doing everything that he can do to this point.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
But who's the next wave of the 3 or 4 great coaches? That's what you're on the hunt for right now if you're an athletic department at several power institutions.
Yeah, well, and also you're trying to identify that person, Tom, at a time where the game itself is changing, and I'm not so sure that these iconic coaches exist in the sport anymore or can be developed because of the dispersion of talent evenly in a way that it's not been. At the very least. It's not completely even, but you get it. Like if everybody you play has the same 20.5 and it'll go up to 21, 22, 23 for the rev share, they have at the very least, their floor is such that they've got players. They've got good players, enough to beat you on any given Saturday. And maybe their NIL game isn't your NIL game, and they can't afford the $5 million quarterback that you now bring in on any given year, or a $2 million first pick in the draft wide receiver that Ohio State brings in, or something like that, right? Maybe they can't do that, but they can bring in a solid line of scrimmage on both sides. They can find plus players at the skill positions. They're hosting the game on a Saturday night at 7. You've got a couple of injuries. They're in the game, man. Vanderbilt is a top 10 team, and you wouldn't be shocked this weekend if they beat Texas. This is the sport right now, so you don't have to do it. And my other point to this was Matt Rule, 5-7, 7-6, currently 6-2. He's 18-15 at Nebraska. 18-15. Now, look, when he got there, they sucked, and so you're not going to turn around overnight, and he hasn't. It's a plotting.
Yeah, right.
It's a plotting.
Six has done it faster at Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, like they're plotting along in Lincoln right now. It is upwardly mobile, barely. Yeah, man. As you just pointed out, they got housed by Minnesota, who lost, I might add, 41-3 to Iowa. So this isn't one of those great PJ Fleck Minnesota teams.
That's what I'm saying. If he goes 2-2 down the stretch, you might even say good job for going 2-2 in these next 4 games after signing that extension. It's just there will be a coach. There will be 2 or 3 coaches that understand this era better than most,
who are out in front of it a little bit. But I don't. But again, we're defining our terms here, because I'm not sure. Fine, there'll be some coaches are better than other coaches. That's in any era.
Each
anywhere.
era. Well, NFL salary cap was different than the dynasty era.
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah. I just I don't know how far out in front they're going to get the way they used to. Like, you have the grandfathered in Ohio State currently. You have the grandfathered in Georgia currently. Those programs were already on fire, kicking ass, stockpiling talent. So as this thing shifted, they had what amounts to as a head start. And even those programs, in the midst of all their success, are showing signs of weakness, showing that they can be beaten. I mean, we just watched. I mean, Kirby's winning games, but we all know every week it's a damn roller coaster. Yeah. It's a close game.
Yeah, this isn't the first year of that either.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're starting to see that.
Well, I think it's also because we're changing our expectations. We just had this discussion Monday maybe, about how 10-2, 9-3 is going to be the new 11-1 or 12-0 if it continues down this path much longer.
Right.
Whatever is necessary to get you to the playoff is as good as is tantamount to being here at 1994 and winning all of your 11 games.
Well, yeah, the idea being that if your program is one of the upper echelon in all of college football, if your program is an annual contender for the conference title and thus a spot in the college football playoff, that's the standard you're going to hold a great coach to, not undefeated seasons and national titles, the way we once did, because you can't stockpile the talent the way they did. So that ability to do that is gone. You should have been viewed through a different prism back then. This was me getting on to Bobby in the early 2000s saying, hey, man, you've got an advantage over every team you face. You've got a better first string and a better second string than their first string. You've got, you're 44 deep. And if you lose a game to one of those who have so much less, man, that we have to have a conversation. So going 10-2, which in retrospect now people are like, wouldn't you die to go 10-2? Yeah, maybe, except for when I have a bunch of NFL players and I lose to somebody who doesn't. Now we're having a very different conversation, but the standards are changing because that's not going to be the case anymore. There'll be a couple teams maybe, but for the most part, where we're headed is, if you're a good coach, you're in contention every year in your league.
Yeah, it's tougher to sustain in college, and it will be. than it is in the NFL, because once you find Mahomes, you sign him and you lock him up for 15, 20 years. Once you find Tom Brady, you run him back out there from 2001 to 2019 before he leaves for Tampa. Like, you have a chance to lock in superstars, Hall of Famers over the course of 3 college careers, essentially.
And rules that benefit them where you can't hit them. Like, it used to be quarterbacks could be knocked the hell out. They're not anymore.
Sure, but it could be a Polamalu, or you have one of the great interior defensive linemen, or you have Reggie White, or whoever it is, like the equivalent of in that day. Now those guys are here for 7 years and 8 years. And so it's easier to sustain success as an NFL head coach, even in a salary cap league, because you just keep the great players for a longer period of time.
It's easier if you have one. They're hard to find.
Oh, yeah, no.
If you have that dude at quarterback, yes.
It's not the same thing as having a recruiting advantage and going to hit that with the NIL. But, I mean, even if you get the best players in college, you're going to redo the cycle in 3 or 4 years. So it's going to be tougher in this era to be a dominant head coach, because you don't have what the NFL does, which is a salary, a CBA, a structure where you can lock guys up for 6, 7, 8 years. But at the same time, people will adapt. And you can find yourself a coach, I think, who will be fit for this era in a way that Saban couldn't be, in a way that Bobby couldn't be, because you now have a brand new set of circumstances and criteria to have to deal with every single day and every single year.
This is where you're going to need the organization, just the way the NFL coach does. The NFL coach needs a very good GM. You know, he can be a great game day coach, but I need my GM to get me the dudes. I can put guys in positions to succeed. If they suck, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I need the dudes. Jason Light has done a remarkable job in Tampa. But you look at a coach like Steichen at Indianapolis. I mean, all they had to do was go out and get Danny Dimes, and all of a sudden the Colts are the best team in the league. Well, he had an incompetent quarterback for 2 years, and they were trying to square peg, round hole that thing, and it wasn't working. And now they get a guy who's competent, who can read a defense and pre-snap this thing a little bit, who has some athleticism, and all of a sudden he's a genius again.
And that's where, again, it gets frustrating here, is because it feels like you're going to fall out of a boat as the head coach of a football program and win 3 or 4 conference games, no matter what conference you're in, because it's now spread out a little bit more evenly. So you're going to be in games that historically you've never had a chance in. Vanderbilt, Missouri,
Georgia Tech.
I mean, yes. Yeah. All these schools.
Yeah. It's happening.
And well, those teams are dominating, but I'm talking about the randos on a given weekend. You're like, Arkansas is hanging with who? Ole Miss is doing what? Mississippi State and Texas? I know Texas won the ball game, but come on, man.
Because they had a big punt return and forced overtime, they should have lost that game.
And that's where winning 2 out of 17 here is just
ridiculous.
That doesn't need to be emotional or anything. It's 2 out of 17.
It's not getting it done. It's not getting it done by definition.
Give somebody else try.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Mom. We're about to do our picks, and we'll do so in just 3-4 minutes. Hang in there. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof. Got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Go custom with your window coverings with help from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Budget Blinds brings their showroom to your home with dozens of color and pattern choices. Just tell them what you love and they'll make it happen. From designing custom draperies and Roman shades to color matching your blinds and shutters.
I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds Tallahassee, where you get beautiful style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Game day in Tallahassee starts with energy, and nothing fuels that spirit like Grassroots Coffee brand new End Zone Blend.
That's right. Every cup of End Zone Blend doesn't just taste incredible, it also supports our Florida State Seminoles football program.
Grassroots Coffee knows it's about commitment and being all in. Every sip of End Zone Blend helps push the program forward, supporting the grind and the climb.
So whether you're at home, have a business, or just getting fired up before kickoff, make End Zone Blend part of your game plan.
Support local and our favorite coffee roaster. Order Grassroots Coffee's End Zone Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. And let's keep driving the Noles to victory.
It's that easy. Drink Grassroots Coffee and help support the Florida State Seminoles. And don't forget, you can get 15% off your first order at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee's brand new End Zone Blend.
Grassroots Coffee.
Made for everyone.
Loved everywhere.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Rolling on. Here we go. Let's get after it. It is time. Mom and I will get back after the wagering. The games are set. We both had Baltimore last night. Obviously, split last week, so I guess that number is still 8, Tom. I think if you would cue it up, let's get to it, and the bets shall begin.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mom, so I know you had Baltimore last night, as did I. And so we obviously guessed right there. That was an easy one. Now let's get to this whole slate of games where splitting every week isn't going to help you, Mama.
I know. It's not. I've got to, but at least I didn't get further down. That was the only good thing. But yeah, I told Tom that Carolina, so much for that logic about them and they're playing at home. God, they got killed.
They did. I didn't pick them in our pool that we're both in together once I found out that Bryce Young wasn't playing. At the time I picked it with you, Bryce Young was starting. He didn't. Andy Dalton did, and I changed my pick. But for the purposes of this betting portion of the show, I allowed you to take the win.
Yes, that was very good. Lord knows. What was the other game that we had different? Was Kansas City and somebody?
I don't remember. I had Kansas City if that's right. I don't know if you picked against them or not.
Yeah, I think maybe I did. I don't remember who they played now, but anyway, I think that was the other one. And I don't have my infamous sheet from last week in front of me. So
Tom knows.
I'm not sure here. Let me look.
Mom, Tom knows.
It's Pittsburgh, Green Bay.
Okay.
You guys had Packers and Steelers. One of you, I forget who picked what.
I had the Packers and she had the Steelers. There we go.
Oh, Packers and Steelers. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a crazy game. The Steelers were good in the first half, and then the second half, the Green Bay came out. And it was like two different games.
It was, and it's the weird thing about Jordan Love is he's good, and then he's not, and then he is, and then he's not, and then he is. So there you go. That's what you ride the roller coaster with him.
I know, crazy. Well, anyway, this is another crazy week.
Here we go. Chicago at Cincinnati.
Chicago, Cincinnati. I have Cincinnati.
I'll take Chicago, and I probably end up regretting it, but I'll take Chicago on the road to beat Cincinnati. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Out the gates, one different. Minnesota at Detroit.
Detroit.
Carolina at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
The Chargers at the Titans.
Yes, I have the Chargers.
Of course. The Falcons at the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Yes. San Francisco at the New York Giants.
I have San Fran.
Me too. Indianapolis at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard game, I think, but I took Indy.
Me too. Denver at Houston.
Denver.
I'm wrestling with this one.
I know. It's a hard one, but I did take Denver.
I'm going to take Houston. There you go. We have a second game different. There we go. Jacksonville at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, now is that what a crappy game is that? Oh man, I said I'd never pick Jacksonville again, but I'm picking them.
Well, me too. And they are 4-3. They're not dreadful, Mom. They're not Vegas.
I know they're not Vegas, but watch them screw up this week and Vegas win.
They could. Saints at the Rams.
The Rams.
Kansas City at Buffalo.
Yeah, now that's a game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Taking Kansas City to go on the road and get the win. I don't like Buffalo's receivers, so we're going to go with Kansas City here. We have 3 different. We're rolling.
Oh, my God. Oh, this could be very bad.
Seattle at Washington.
I'm taking Seattle.
Me too. And finally, Arizona at the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll take Dallas.
All right, so we've got 3 different. Should be fun. I've got Kansas City. You've got Buffalo. I've got Houston. You've got Denver. And then I've got the Bears, and you've got the Bengals.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my God. We'll see what happens. I need to win a couple of these.
Well, I hope you lose all 3.
I know you do. But you're loving this glorious weather, I know.
I am. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a good night, even if Florida State loses.
Oh, are they playing tonight?
No. They're playing on Saturday night, but the weather's going to be gorgeous tomorrow night too, Mom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it will. Absolutely. Well, that'll be worth sitting out there, even if they don't prevail.
Maybe.
I know. I've listened to your show. I know this is a struggle. Well, anyway, we'll see. Hopefully, are they favored to beat Wake Forest?
They are indeed by 10 points. It's sad that you have to ask the question that you're not sure Florida State's favored at home at night against Wake Forest, but indeed they are. Yeah.
Well, I know. Well, I thought they should be, but you never know. You never know.
No, you don't with us.
I'm going to tell you this has anything to do with FSU other than well, I guess it does in a way. Coach Ninus, you know his birthday is today on Halloween? I did not know that.
Me neither. For our audience, Coach Ninus was one of my football coaches in high school and a great man, and it's somebody we love very much. But anyhow, yes.
Yeah, and he's a Seminole. So that was but I never knew his birthday was on Halloween, so I sent him a happy birthday, and I sent him a picture of Bryce's senior night picture for football because I thought he'd really enjoy seeing that.
Well, there you go. And I will let the audience know he is the owner of one of the greatest beards ever seen. It is a thick, monstrous thing.
Yes, it is great. If they're ever in St. Pete and they go to Ferg's Sports Bar and he's there, they'll be able to see it in person.
And he coached Todd Stroud, who was at one time a coach here at Florida State and player. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, I just never knew that his birthday was on Halloween. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Mama, love you. Bye.
All right, love you too. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
There she is. There are the wagers, 3 different. I feel pretty good about those. Which one are you against? Which one are you on her side?
I think it could be Buffalo, Kansas City. I know that Kansas City's playing complete football right now.
They are. Their defense has been awesome.
But it's a short week, and it's a gotta-have-it game for Buffalo. It's got that extra little pizzazz to it because the East could be getting away from them. And they also need to make a statement for their own mental fortitude because they've had some flat performances. I know they stomped last week's opponent in Carolina, but that's not a real test. Like, this is one where they can get themselves off the mat. And I love the spot with a short week for Kansas City.
What's interesting for Buffalo is their wins on the season are over the Ravens, who are sub 500, the Jets, who have 1 win, the Dolphins, who have 2 wins, the Saints, who have 1 win, right? Saints have 1 win? I think that's right.
1.
And the Panthers.
Only choose 1.
So think about that. If you are a Buffalo fan, you're like, so we've beaten the Jets, Dolphins, Saints, Panthers, and Ravens. And we've lost to the Patriots, who are good. And we lost to the Falcons, who aren't good, but not terrible. So the 2 halfway decent teams you played, you lost to. Kudos for beating all those god-awful teams that you beat. Although I think Baltimore's going to end up making the playoffs, so that'll be a good win for them. But it was 41-40. It was first game of the year, so it's interesting.
The Patriots game was strange too. That didn't feel like both teams were. It's one of those funky Sunday night football games.
Yeah,
almost like a weather game that you kind of dismiss. I'm dismissing it, but if they get smoked, let's say Kansas City wins by 10. Like, oh well, never mind. I was wrong. We'll back the hell off.
New England resides in first place in the AFC East. Man. Weird to say out loud. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 68. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies again tonight, lows around 44. Highs level off around 71 tomorrow. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun Sunday with daytime highs approaching 71. 68 Monday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 64 degrees.
And here come the leaves, thousands of them, falling fast, covering every inch of the yard. But wait, who's this rushing in? It's the Lawn Johns with the ultimate fall cleanup blitz. From clearing leaves to fresh pine straw and mulch, the Lawn Johns dominate the field, your yard, so you can focus on what matters. Grilling, chilling, and cheering on your team. Don't let leaves sack your game day fun. Call the Lawn Johns today and win the battle of the backyard. The Lawn Johns, your lawn, our game.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, I never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Yeah, it's a good point, Mario, and that's also factored into my pick. He points out in the chat that Ed Oliver is out and goes on to say he doesn't think it's going to be close. So, yeah, could very well be. I think that there's burgeoning issues that are going to be exposed here in Buffalo right now.
It could be. This is that game for them. of are they still in it, or do they start to feel like, oh God, we missed window number one. Thankfully, Allen will have a long career, so we'll get a couple cracks at this thing, but is window one kind of closing for the moment? Rashee Rice and the impact he's had on that Kansas City offense is fundamental. They're back all the way, it looks like to me.
Yeah, the one that Buffalo fans will forever rue is when Josh Allen was Superman and did everything he could possibly do and deserved to win the game in Kansas City in the playoffs, did everything, 40 whatever points and 500 yards, and you got the lead with 13 seconds to go and you suck, you blow it. It's like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. I would be resentful. I'd ask out. I'd be like, I'm out. Screw y'all. I did almost the impossible. I was a perfect quarterback when we had to have it in the freezing ass cold on the road, and you effed me.
That's right. And lazy people 5 years from now say, oh, you can't win the big game.
No, I'd be like, man, you all effed me. Incompetence. Jags Knowles didn't get to you from before. Has there ever been a 10-game ACC losing streak in FSU history? No.
No. Is that for any sport?
Oh, I didn't know if you meant for
in
any sport.
In
I'm
any
sure
sport.
it's happened. I know it's had to have happened in basketball, I'm sure. But
oh yeah, positive no the day.
yeah, I mean, yeah, back then, yeah, we lost every time we played. But no, man. It's
He sounded like the neighbor in Office Space. No, man. Hell no.
no. That is ridiculous. I mean, think about when we joined the conference, we provided a lot of 10-game losing streaks to us for almost everybody in the league. Just a whole lot of get you some every damn year for forever until Virginia. But that, I mean,
Yeah,
that
we
went on a long, long time.
We looked at this, and once we was at 7 or 8 straight, it took until
it's
past the
not
new
even-
millennium before we lost our 8th ACC game.
It was great.
something like that.
No, for the better part of 14 years, these kinds of things did not happen, man. They did not. Tony writes, so we know the defense is not great this year, but Tony White has proven he can coach and seems like a leader of men. We give him $4 million a year and see if he can build something with his players. Yeah, here's the thing. I would have been inclined, Tony, to maybe want to do something like that. And I agree with your assessment of leader of men and those kinds of things. But this defense is having problems, and some of those guys are not adhering to the things that Tony is teaching and or preaching. And so I do wonder. Now, to be sure, it is very frustrating to try and assess, and if I'm being fair, I suppose, Gus or Tony right now as the newcomers to this, because they inherited some roster flaws that were not of their making necessarily. And then if the culture is shot, which we think it appears to be to some degree.
Yeah, I think this focus is more on the defense because you have more holdover players. For Gus, they're as new as he is on offense.
Yeah. But again, if you're rotten at the top, Tom,
yeah,
then really it affects everything. It affects everything that happens within the organization, and that includes the new coordinators. And it gets hard to assess them working in a situation that is less than ideal.
I wish it was that easy of an answer where you could turn it over to one of those guys, but you have a couple performances that make no sense. And then also, frankly, you have the UCLA Zoom thing. I don't like it. And I don't like the explanation for it either. I had no idea what that link was. Stop
don't do that.
treating
Yeah,
people like they're stupid.
Yeah,
That's good Lord.
That's just, again,
I'm a UCLA alum. I was very interested to see what they are going to do next. I care about that program in my spare time. And I realized once I saw people notice that I was there, it was a bad idea. So I immediately got out. Instead of, I had no idea what that link was.
This is the PR firm. This is why we have the PR firm on the show. Guys get themselves in trouble for no reason. For no reason. Like, there's nuance to this conversation frequently. Like, we can help you a little bit here, but we can't excuse this away. However, you've got this, we'll do that. Sometimes it's just as simple as, well, don't do that. There's no reason for that. You're not in trouble. Just be honest about the situation. Why did you do that?
The energy you're bringing. Like, people said they saw me people said they saw you. That's the energy you want to bring?
Who the hell are people said?
I didn't even know what that link was. I had somebody sent me the link, and then I had people talking to me in the chat, and I realized, well, I'm having dinner with my family. And that answer tells me that.
Well, it tells you that all of these guys have a certain kind of arrogance to them that is unmistakably a football coach is arrogance. And then secondly, that the common sense is lacking in the moments where the panic begins. And you're kind of, hey, settle down. Let's not dig any deeper. A simple, straightforward explanation will suffice here. You were a team captain for UCLA. You started and played linebacker for them. You love the institution. You've always dreamt of being a head coach. They may be interested in you being their head coach. They reached out to you. You answered. And then you realized, look, probably not good timing. You got off the call. That was the end of that. And, we'll revisit this at the end of the year. I mean, and somebody might say, well, revisit. You're like, guys, if somebody's going to contact me or my agent about a head coaching job, I'm going to listen. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, well, and he got to that part too late after dismissing the fact that he was on the call. There's nothing there until there's something. That's actually a great answer. That's true. But I had no idea what the link was. Really, you're in the business of just like, hey, there's a UCLA link.
I like to check random links.
What is this Zoom thing that they're doing?
I'm forever out here checking links.
Is this one of those like DJ sessions? What's going on here?
Oh, I missed it. I was not in the chat any longer. I'm sorry about that. Hey, all this down talk. Here's to that Anthony Sorelli game winner last night. Lightning finally win in OT. Also, bring back those Tiger Sharks to tally. It was a great goal. The self pass off the boards, right? How pretty was that? Yeah, that was a good game. That was a complete game. The Lightning looked good last night. That was a fun game. Yeah, it was also beautiful to know that our very own Matt Lacerda was there to see the Superior Lightning team take out Dallas.
It's a long drive home after you go down for.
But he got to see a great arena, a well-run organization. You can feel the championships in the air when you're there because there's so many. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you can thank your goalie and the goalposts for the 1 point that Dallas got last night. Good effort out of Tampa Bay. An entertaining game. Entertaining regular season game. Had a little extra juice to it. Was it playoff level? No, but it had some juice to it.
Both teams cared. That's why it was good. Both teams cared. Thank you, Matt. I'm glad you're listening. I had to get that dig in. I did. Hey, I want to say on the air, I haven't had a chance to do this yet. I want to say thanks to I want to say congratulations, not thanks. Congratulations to my good buddy, Trey Jones, head golf coach at Florida State University, going to be inducted into the Florida State Hall of Fame. And that announcement came out last week late, and I didn't get an opportunity to say anything about it on the air, but I wanted to before the week was up. I'm happy for Trey. He loves Florida State. He has built a monster. The elusive national championship is all that remains, but he has produced en masse, one after the other, in terms of PGA Tour players, successful teams, a program that is annually in contention to win the conference title and maybe a national title. And they're now a destination school for the nation's elite golfers. Recruiting Charlie Woods right now, and it's down to the wire, so we shall see. But it's just cool, and Trey's a great guy, and he and Kathy and his entire family that I've gotten to know very well over the years. Working with him was a privilege, and we still talk on a regular basis. So I want to say congratulations to my buddy Trey Jones.
Well, and he found the funding, which is a very hard thing to do if you don't have them, the dollars, to go get that course redone, Seminole Legacy. You get Jack Nicklaus in here to help you and
design the course.
Everything from designing the course to hitting the first tee shot once it's done. And he also made the logo for the course. I hope he's collecting a lot of royalties off of that logo.
He's not. And I would be livid.
It's a great logo.
Drew it on a napkin. It's an awesome logo.
Yes, Aaron Hughes, Charlie Woods, that is correct.
Yeah.
Is at least he's thinking heavily about Florida State.
I think it's us and two other schools it's down to, and it may very well end up being us. We'll see. Fighting hard with Alabama and JT over there, but we'll see. It'd be kind of interesting to see what Charlie Woods. It's a shot in the arm for any program that gets him. I mean, just from a PR standpoint alone, even if he doesn't turn out to be the nation's best golfer, because he wouldn't be, you've already signed the guy that's worlds better than Charlie Woods.
And there's one that's not too far from here in Thomasville that's also better than Charlie Woods right now by a long shot. But Charlie's a little younger. Charlie is a little younger.
And Charlie's interesting because Charlie Woods can go out there and throw up a 64 on you, and he can turn around and shoot 80 the next day. All he's missing is consistency. And that's because the game's in there. Like the numbers are out there. So, yeah, Daniel, my man, Charlie to the Knowles moment. I'll let you know as soon as we know. And I have a source. So I think I'll be in good shape.
Yes,
If it's happening, I've got the source.
I'd call you, buddy. Hey, if Charlie comes here, I know that nobody wants this. I know that you would just to hobnob. Trey,
you want me to hang out in the loge box with Charlie?
No, TGL. TGL tickets. Let me go down there. I want to check out one event of a TGL. Looks like a hoot.
Okay. We'll see if we can get it done. Mario's correct in the chat. Maybe other guys out there that are better than Charlie, but none of them have a dad that can erase the buyout with a stroke of a pen.
Oh, my goodness. His mother could too, Mario. That's what the settlement did.
She was in town.
I know. I felt her presence, and I should have acted on it.
No, we've got to keep it normal.
I wouldn't wear any Florida State gear.
Everybody, we've got to keep it normal. When Elan's in town, let's keep it normal.
You fancy a cosmopolitan?
It's hard not to ogle. I understand.
You got to shoot your shot. Got to shoot your shot there.
Yeah, I'm picturing some average Joe at the club. Oh, anybody sitting here? Stop it. Don't leave her be, please.
You know, my mother's name was Elin. It wasn't. I just needed to say something to sit down. How are you today? Can I interest you in some mozzarella sticks?
Leave Elin alone. Oh, man.
I'm not missing a few zeros, Tony. She's got all the zeros for both of us.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That is hilarious. Pre-game shows, what Tom and I sat down and did for your pleasure. So also we needed to have one ready to go for the morning. And it's what's next in hour number 3. Stay with, be well. Talk to you tomorrow at Hotel Indigo. If you guys are free to swing by,
4 p.m.
Please do. 4 p.m.
Can we talk about the most important things